There has been significant confusion. There still is significant confusion about what happens next with TikTok. We know that ByteDance and we know that Oracle have tentatively agreed to a deal, but the president still has to sign off on that. We don't know exactly when he has to sign off on that. What is your general belief about how this will play out?
It's really hard to say, Emily. I mean, I think, overall, the executive orders that have been issued related to TikTok and WeChat have created huge uncertainty for the business community. And that uncertainty really isn't going away. But there is a sense that there are going to be more executive orders coming because the underlying issue here with TikTok and with WeChat, and really with any Chinese company that might be in a position to collect data on US citizens, is that there's a national security law in China that allows the government to command any Chinese company to turn over that data. And barring some massive change in the law, I think that concern is going to drive more action from the administration.
So what do you make of this latest news about TikTok, that the government's now calling on gaming companies, the U.S. government, calling on gaming companies to shed more light on their data relationship with Tencent, which is a huge company that has tentacles around the world, and certainly broader implications on, just Chinese companies trying to do business in the United States?
Yeah, definitely broader implications. So Tencent is the parent company of WeChat, and the WeChat executive order issued on August 6th was issued, at the same time as the first TikTok order. Again, this comes down to concerns among U.S. policymakers, especially in the administration, but not just in the administration, about the possibility that any of these companies could be collecting U.S. citizens' data and then turning it over to the Chinese government, and what might the Chinese government want to do with that data. So not surprising, I guess, that a follow-on from the WeChat order would be to look at other data relationships that Tencent might have with its business partners here in the United States.
So what companies are we talking about here? I mean, if you're a Chinese company and you're wondering if your relationship with U.S. companies is going to be further investigated, who's on that list?
Honestly, I think that what we're talking about here is almost, there's sort of no limit to what you might imagine falling within the scope of this, because it has been rolled out with such broad language and such broadly expressed concerns. Really, we're living in a highly tech-driven era that's only becoming more so. The Internet of Things means that almost every industry has some sort of big data operation going on with its service to customers. And that means that, any Chinese company trying to do business in the United States could potentially, be subject to these same concerns. But of course, right now, what we're seeing is companies that are specifically, owners of applications that their entire business model is in collecting data, and then how they use that data to provide better services to their customers and to better target advertisements and things like that. So for now, we're seeing a focus on tech companies, but it certainly could go beyond that. We've seen this concern arise in previous years when Ant Financial got denied its desire to acquire, I can't remember which company, but an American company, I think an insurance company. They got denied for exactly this reason. CFIUS was concerned with their ability to collect data on U.S. citizens.
So let's talk a little bit about the TikTok mechanics. Obviously, many outstanding questions. What are the outstanding questions in your mind? This in the midst of several Republican lawmakers saying they're not going to approve a deal if it doesn't meet their specifications.
Yeah, I think, there are a few concerns. So I guess to start with, there are two TikTok executive orders. One was issued on August 6th. One was issued on August 14th. The August 6th executive order gave a 45-day deadline, so essentially next Monday, for TikTok to be sold to a U.S. company. The August 14th executive order gave a 90-day deadline and also mentioned that the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States would have to approve any transaction. We don't know which deadline is in effect here, whether this Oracle proposal has to be approved and enforced by Monday, or if they actually have time to hammer out the details from now until, just past the election in November. We also don't know, there are details we don't know about the Oracle TikTok plan. We don't know if this is a plan to acquire TikTok outright or TikTok's U.S. assets, and all of the data that TikTok has collected, and whatever algorithm TikTok uses to collect that data, or whether it's something less than that. If it's something less than that, we have heard from congressmen like Senator Marco Rubio, Senator John Cornyn, and others that that's not sufficient in their minds, that doesn't allay the national security concern involved in data collection and then data transfer to the Chinese government. If it's something more than just a partnership, though, we could see a situation where the Chinese government says, hey, we don't want to see our Chinese company sell the rights or the information, the proprietary information behind this data collection algorithm or this AI that it's using, because the Chinese government has also asserted its rights to approve or disapprove of any sort of transaction that touches on sensitive technology like that. So there's a lot that's up in the air, in terms of whether or not the deal will be approved, and also when the deal has to be approved.